So I want to ask for advice. I'm not giving advice here. I don't actually really know what the best way to tackle this is. I've been trying to intermittently read a couple of books that are like, I would consider kind of beyond my current reading level. Not a ton beyond, but I guess there's a class of, I'll give two examples. So Notes on the Synthesis of Form. This is like a very generalized take on just creating anything. And there are a couple things I understand from it, like designing from constraints and how a form fits to a context. But there are a lot of just words in here, and their writing style is like very dry and technical. And I wouldn't say dry exactly, but it's very precise. Like all the word definitions in here, you really need to know what each of the words is saying. And then Archetypes of the Collective Unconscious is another one where the writing is just like a little bit archaic, a little bit older. It's not completely incomprehensible. And I know most of the words, like in their definitions. It's just a weird phenomenon where like the way that the definitions are being used is like a little bit more rich and subtle than I'm used to at a normal reading level. And like, I don't know, I consider myself at a pretty good reading level, but there's like a next level above where I'm not capable of reading at yet. And this is like a kind of known phenomenon actually. Like there are a lot of books where people say, oh, I wasn't ready to read that yet. I wasn't at the right age to understand it. And like Medium is the Message or Amusing Ourselves to Death. I read Amusing Ourselves to Death, and that one made a lot of sense to me, whereas Notes on the Synthesis of Form is pretty beefy, to be honest. But I want to know, like, because I'm just a naturally impatient person and I just constantly want more out of life, like, how do you short circuit those like 10 years that it takes to be old enough to read this book? I don't know, maybe that's like a weird thing to want, but how do you increase your reading level? I guess what I've been trying to do is to just like dictionary define any word that I'm vaguely I'm vaguely unsure of the exact meaning the author is going for, and I also try to read very slowly now. I used to be like a degenerate audiobook spammer, and I still do that for fiction, but you can't do that for like serious, thought-provoking writing. You have to like sit and think about each sentence. There was someone who said, I think it was maybe it was Thoreau, like you have to extract all the wisdom in a book, you have to spend like as much time reading it as time was spent writing it, which that's maybe a little overkill, I don't know, but I think depending on the book that could definitely be the case. Like if a piece of work is like someone's life work, it's not like, yeah, I read that in 2 weeks and absorbed everything completely. It's like you've really got to sit with it and soak it in. So I would be interested in hearing any tips for increasing your reading comprehension to more advanced stuff. Yeah. I think it's a very important skill, especially if you're going into academia, and even in math or something, just to understand like very precise definitions of words, and really be on the same page about what you're saying. And it is really fascinating that like there is a level of precision in language that I'm like not ready for yet, that I can't, like, I don't know. I get the broad strokes of these two books, but I know there's like a lot of brilliance under the surface that I can't appreciate yet. So one strategy is, like, my dad has been in academia for a long time, so I'll ask him to help me explain this, but I'm wondering if anyone else here like reads, I don't know, I know some people have read like a lot of the philosophy canon of the West and some pretty beefy, challenging books. Like, what's your strategy to boost your comprehension? I would imagine, honestly, is kind of what I detailed, and just like reading more and more. Like, it's just practicing like anything else, but maybe there's some like tips and tricks to completely avoid any of the arduous effort and just get all the results for no hard work, which is pretty much what I look for in everything. Yeah, I'll catch you next time.